I have already talked about the unique Russian road train toner. This is a 3-link dump truck with a gross weight of about 200 tons and a load capacity of 125 tons. The Russian company TONAR specially developed it on the instructions of the company ALROSA, which is engaged in diamond mining. This road train is designed to transport ore from the diamond deposit to the place of its processing. The length of the route is 170 kilometers. Previously, several dozen dump trucks with European truck tractors transported diamond ore. At the same time, 5 TONAR road trains worked with them, but these were experimental models that were being tested in real operation. Among them was the very first road train, manufactured in 2016. After the introduction of anti-Russian sanctions, European manufacturers left Russia, completely stopping the service of truck tractors they supplied. Basically, they abandoned their clients. This forced ALROSA to order new truck tractors from a Russian customer. As a result, in the spring of 2022, TONAR received a major contract for the production of road trains, each of which consisted of a 3-axle truck tractor and 2 semi-trailers. A total of 28 such road trains were ordered. The TONAR company could not immediately start fulfilling the received order. The fact is that a large number of American and European components were used in the design of these road trains. Among them are both large components, for example, a power unit, and small components, for example, numerous electrical connectors, adapters, switches, which are not produced in Russia and have always been imported. After the introduction of sanctions against Russia, access to these components turned out to be very difficult or impossible. Therefore, the management of TONAR decided to completely abandon the use of components from the USA and Europe, replacing them with components from China or Russia. Since the contract had already been signed, it was necessary to find a replacement for these components as soon as possible. The TONAR specialists coped with this task in a few months. The first dump truck, in which there was not a single part from Europe and the USA, was manufactured and sent for testing in December 2022. Currently, the assembly shop of the TONAR plant is simultaneously assembling 6 Supertractors. At the first assembly post, the frame manufactured at the same factory is completed with various brackets. Then, as the units are installed on the frame, the tractor is transferred to the next assembly posts. At the end, the tractor gets a power unit, a huge radiator, a cab and a very large hood. Every week, the plant manufactures and sends 2 ready-made truck tractors for testing. Outwardly, serial truck tractors, now manufactured by order of the ALROSA company, remain the same as the prototype models that were already working on the transportation of ore. But there are also differences. For example, imported halogen headlights built into the bumper have been replaced with LED headlights from Belarus located on top of the bumper. The main differences between serial TONAR tractors are hidden in the engine compartment. The American Cummins diesel engine and the Allison automatic hydro-mechanical gearbox have been replaced with analogs from China. The Chinese engine also has 6 cylinders and a working volume of 19 liters. But an intercooler appeared in its design. The maximum power of the Chinese engine is 800 horsepower. This is slightly more than the American engine. But more importantly, this power is achieved at lower revolutions. 2000 versus 2200. Reducing the number of revolutions is beneficial in terms of increasing the resource of the power unit. The average fuel consumption due to the replacement of one engine by another has not changed and is approximately 32 grams per ton-kilometer. The Chinese engine was specially created to equip mining dump trucks. But taking into account the installation on a road train, several important improvements were made to its design. For example, they supplied a high-performance air compressor and a power steering pump. The TONAR company independently manufactures a transmission brake retarder, adds an additional gear pump to the transfer case and makes a cooling circuit of increased efficiency. The rear suspension of the tractor and the suspension of semi-trailers remained unchanged. This is a rare suspension for Russian trucks using rubber elastic elements and torque rods. It is simple, reliable and inexpensive at the same time. At first, they decided to use the same design in the front suspension, but it turned out to be too rigid, which had a bad effect on the resource of other tractor units. Therefore, at first, the rubber elastic elements were replaced with conventional leaf springs and then with an air spring suspension, in which an air spring is installed above the springs. This design is more complicated, but, having high reliability and load capacity, it provides the best smoothness. Another unique design element of the TONAR tractor is two fifth-wheel couplings with a permissible load of 50 tons, designed for a 4-inch semi-trailer kingpin. One of them is installed on the frame of the tractor, the other, at the rear of the first semi-trailer. This is a unique fifth-wheel coupling, very difficult to manufacture. In Russia, these are not produced anywhere else, and they are rarely found in the world. For the first TONAR truck tractors, such a fifth-wheel coupling was made by welding and subsequent machining. Now it is made by pouring, which provides higher performance. One of the advantages of TONAR road trains is that all their wheels are equipped with exclusively special tires for use in quarries. The 170-kilometer road on which these road trains operate is paved with sharp-edged gravel. Therefore, conventional tires of European tractors and semi-trailers wear out very quickly, which negatively affects the profitability of transportation. But TONAR road trains do not have such problems. The resource of more durable mining tires is very high. These are mainly Chinese tires for quarries of the ALROSA brand, but recently their Belarusian counterparts have also been used for packaging. In order to avoid slippage at the beginning of the movement on an icy or snow-covered road, the truck tractor is equipped with a front drive axle. Let's take a look at the cockpit. She is double. The TONAR company manufactures this cabin on its own. Inside, it looks utilitarian, but the ergonomics are at a good level, and the interior is neatly made. The cabin is made very warm. The driver is comfortable in such a cabin. He can comfortably sit in his workplace, since the seat is adjustable over a wide range. At the top of the console, among a variety of buttons, we see a button for connecting the front drive axle, and next to it is a button for turning on the lower stage in the transfer case. Below, under the protective caps, these are the buttons for turning on the mechanisms for blocking the center and wheel differentials. That is, the transmission of the tractor is like a real off-road truck. Summarize. Under the sanctions imposed against Russia, the TONAR company did an excellent job of replacing a wide range of components in the construction of road trains. Now, in the supply of components, TONAR does not depend on the countries that have imposed sanctions against Russia. Thanks to its engineers and specialists of the component procurement service, TONAR did not lose an important contract with ALROSA, which was important for it, and opened the way to new contracts.